Hi, I'm Liz Cully, and welcome back to Cool, Cool, Cool. Each week, I give you a glimpse into what I think is cool and chat with a ton of people that are definitely cool. No topic is off bounds unless, I guess, it's not cool. Welcome to Cool, Cool, Cool. It was funny. I was watching over the last week, like all of your videos, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, God, it's so awkward when you go up on stage and you have to be like, hey, you know what I mean? And I'm just watching you like video after video and you're like, hey guys. I'm like, God, that must be so hard. And you get right into it because you have to go right into it.
It's always interesting when you go, whenever I'm not in LA, it's like you get a lot of like, woo, like you get like, oh, like your sexy woos. And
Well, you're
like,
hot, so yeah.
Well, you're like, well, I'm hot in Bakersfield for sure.
No, you're hot in general. But
in LA,
yes.
no one does that though. Like no one's like, oh my God. They're just like, they woo for you. And then you're like, I'm always taken back by that. I'm like, oh, I was not expecting that reception. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to get past what I look like. There's like a assumption. And then I have to tell these hill people that I'm gay, you know?
Right.
And that's always like, sometimes it's like, it always gets like murmurs of the audience talking
About you in front of you.
Yeah. So that happens. Like the more remote of an area, the more of like oh, I have to tell these people I'm gay at one point.
Who reacts more, the men or the women?
Men for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, talk about fucking. What's up with scissoring? And you're like, no one really does that. Kind of. We do it all the time.
Or sometimes it's like, I did a whole church group and I didn't have sex with the whole church. I performed in front of a whole church group in San Diego. And they were, I opened with a joke about killing the homeless. They loved it.
Oh.
And then I started talking about being gay. Immediately, they like started folding their arms and they hated me.
How did you get booked for a church group?
I think it was just like the church group was like looking for something to do on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, let's go to the San Diego Laugh Factory. And it was the worst possible audience for the Laugh Factory too, because like no one drinks, or they do drink, but they don't drink in front of their church group. So it was like nothing but, because then some people, they always come out, they're like, is anyone drinking tonight? Silence. Yeah.
You're like, another round of Cosmos? Nothing. Yeah, San Diego's a weird place anyway.
It's interesting because coming from Florida, like I thought California as a whole was pretty liberal. And then I came here and I performed in different pockets of LA. And I'm like, different pockets of California. And I'm like, oh, all of California is in LA.
No, like Bakersfield is pretty conservative. Anything in the Central Coast. I mean, I'm from San Francisco.
Yeah.
So the drive down is pretty not liberal.
I went to it was in a bar in Joshua Tree with my girlfriend at the time. We kissed and the whole bar wooed.
You get a lot of woos.
I know, like everyone was like, woo, woo, woo. Like they were so excited. And I'm like, I don't know if this is good.
You know, Joshua Tree, not for me.
You don't like it?
No, no cell reception. It's dusty, very hot.
Yeah.
I went into the Joshua Tree Park.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, fucking 2 ambulances, a helicopter cop. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Someone's dying out here. It's too hot. I was also deathly hungover at the time, so that could probably have added to why I wasn't into it. My dog Ravioli, she was like, girl, this is not for me. I was like, me neither, girl. It was just like, and then we're just with the Joshua trees that look pretty unhappy. You got Pappy and Harriet's, and then what? You're just in an Airbnb with no cell reception. That's it.
I like that you can. So like, I'm going back to see like the meteor showers. I like it for that.
Okay.
I feel like I go a few times a year just to get away from everything, but it is very like. I turned on my Tinder there once just to see. I was like, all genders, all age ranges, what's out here, and it was everything from if you wear a mask, swipe left. Left is no, right?
Okay. I don't know.
So. I
missed that boat, but yeah.
And then the next one was like, we're a 5-person transgender, like polycule.
Oh, no. I was going to say it's like Jason Momoa, and then it's like literal anti-vaxxer. It's like RFK freaks.
And
it's
they live like right down the street from each other. And
Yeah, no.
It's just very weird that it's like there's these like polyamorous raves next to these like
Super MAGA folks. Yeah, 100%. I feel like, but maybe that is Florida.
yeah,
Where in Florida are you from?
Orlando. So Orlando is weird because it's like a pocket of gay because of Disney. And I didn't realize, I guess Disney is so gay because it was the first place to give, like, like before gay marriage, they would allow you to be on the same insurance,
Yes.
even if you weren't married. So that's why it's like so many gay people work there. So I feel
Really?
yeah.
I did not know.
So it's just like, even though it's been, well, for now it's legal, it's kind of stuck, kind of like when Subaru marketed, it was like, kind of like,
Lesbians.
yeah, like once once the gay community attaches to something, it kind of stays. They're like, oh, this is a safe place to work.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been like a kind of a gay pocket of Florida, even though it's like, I don't know, I feel like all the gay bars are closing down. Like there used to be obviously Pulse. And then there was Parliament House, which is this like gay club. My great uncle built the stages for it, and
Cool.
it was like he he was like super cool. He died of HIV, and he was like he went by Ashley Beaumont. He was like an escort slash set designer, and
Sounds like my kind of gal.
yeah. And it was this place with like so much history. And then I found out that and they have a motel up front that people would have sex with in front of the window so you could watch while you're in. Like it was like a
I love this place.
very sexually liberated.
This place is great.
Yeah. And my grandma went there
Even better.
in the 70s and 80s. And she's like very homophobic, very MAGA.
Is this on your mom's side?
Yeah.
Your mom's very hot.
Thank you.
I have like a thing for like hot moms. My wife is like, oh my God, you're probably, because I was again scrolling this morning. She like looked over. I'm like, look at Madison's mom. She's like, oh God. I'm like, this lady's hot. Real hot.
Dealt with that my whole life
I
because
bet.
she was a Hooters girl. Like when I was in.
Stop talking dirty to me.
And like if you go to any Hooters now, she's like laminated in the bar, her photo.
Stop it.
So she's like the Queen of Hearts on the Hooters playing cards. And she's in the Hooters like I was even like one of the I think it's like last guy I was ever with. He had a vintage Hooters calendar on his wall. And I was like, why do you have this on your wall? And he's like, oh, I got it like when I was a teenager. He's like, my dad got it for me. And I like keep it up like kind of as a joke. And it's like vintage. So it's like, it looks cool. And I was like, did you ever like masturbate to it? And he's like, yeah, I got it as a teenager, of course. And I was like, oh my God, this guy that I was seeing had jerked off to my mom.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's why men are trash though.
The worst. Yeah.
They're all the same. They just have different faces. Truly. Do you know what I
It's
mean? You're like,
horrifying.
what month was she?
October, I think. I think she's October. I know that her name's misspelled in it. Or maybe it was September. I have to see.
They misspelled her name. I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, it's bad for sure. But
I love that. I've never been to Hooters.
oh, really? I worked there for like a very short period of time.
What was that like? A little bit of nepotism,
I know.
if you will.
My mom didn't want me to work there. But I went for a job interview when I was 17. And he was like, all right, when you turn 18? And they hired me. They gave me a hiring call as soon as I turned 18. You had to be 18 to work here. And I started working there. And it was, my mom like made a ton of money when she worked there because she would work there in the heyday. And then she would do the calendar signings and was on tour with them. So she did a lot of the modeling and then was only like behind the bar like once a week. So not like really, like she was like more the face of the company than they were just for appearances. I was like full-time working there and it was kind of sad.
I bet. Well, because you're young. So it probably was what, like 10 years ago?
It was like, yeah, it was like very like, it was in like Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And there was this like, the first person I served was this guy and he told me that his wife had just died.
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And he was like this younger guy. And then I was telling him like, oh, how's everything going so far? And I was like, oh, it's just good. It's just so sad this guy's wife died. And he's like, no, he comes in like every few days with like a new sob story. And like he makes up a sob story so that people will talk to him.
Yikes.
So like everything's happened to this guy.
Is this where you started to work on your comedy career? At Hooters?
I honestly didn't even think about doing stand-up until like a few years into college. I was like dating this guy who wanted to be a stand-up and I was writing his jokes. And I was just thinking like, he told me he wanted to be a stand-up and I thought it was stupid actually.
You thought being a comedian was stupid because he was so stupid, or you thought that being a comedian was stupid?
I thought it was a dumb life path because I feel like with my dad, when I told him I like really liked art and I wanted to be an artist, he was like, you should be an art director because that's the only job in art that makes money. So like
Okay.
I was like 10 telling people I'm gonna be an art director when I grow up.
Love it.
And still
Sophisticated.
don't know what that means. I'm like now I'm like, I still don't know what it means to be an art director.
Nobody
but-
does, by the
yeah,
way.
I'm like, what is it's just like something that people say they do on Raya. And I feel like I was like, I just didn't see, I was like, why are you going to college if you want to just be a stand-up comedian? I just felt like it was financially like stupid. And I mean, honestly, now that I've done it, it is financially stupid. Like 95% of people don't make any money off of it.
No.
It's kind of a crazy thing to fully thrust yourself into. But he said he wanted to do that and be a comedy writer. And he's not doing that. I think he's like trying stand up.
But you are.
Yeah. He like lives in a sailboat
Oh,
in Canada.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, nope. But has he ever reached out to you and been like, damn, you're like doing what I always wanted to do?
Well, sometimes he'll go, like he was like at a show opening for someone and then he saw my poster, like I was headlining it, and he like sent me a picture of him in front of the poster. I was just like, wow. Yeah.
I love shit like that.
It's kind of fun.
I'm real petty.
Same.
Like when people reach out to me, I'm like, oh no, I remember how awful you were to me. Like,
Yeah.
and I will not forget. And I don't really let things go.
Yeah.
I'll let too much go with the people I love, but people I don't love, like, get fucked, kick rocks, never happening.
I feel like there was a guy who we broke up, and then I think a month later he would do streaming parties for the roast. And then they made me I had ghostwritten for the roast, and they asked me if I wanted to be Vanity Six since Jeff Ross was Prince. And I was like, sure, because all the reference images were these big 80s dresses. And I showed up to set, and they're like, all right, here's your options. And it was all white lingerie. And I was like, what? I never wore lingerie before. I was fully on my period. I would not like prepared to be half naked. Like I feel like you have to. I'm like, I don't even know if I shaved. You know what I mean? Like
You're like, unfortunately, I've been eating for the last 30 days. Like
this takes preparation.
I mean, massive preparation.
And I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I was like 22 at the time. I was like, all right, I get it. I didn't know what other option I had. So I put it on. And then if you watch the show, I'm in like all the bumpers
Dead.
in my lingerie. And it's so funny to me that he's like throwing this like party to watch it. And his ex-girlfriend's like in lingerie and all the bumpers.
But 22, you were already working on the roasts?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I just started doing roast. I think it was like 22, 23. I just started doing roast battle immediately. And then I think from roast battle, I was able to like show my writing skills. And I got to LA from a writing internship, I think before I was even 21. And then that was for the Soup. And then
Oh my God, really? With Joe McHale?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm very good friends with Jade, who
Oh,
was
really?
like his replacement.
She's great.
She's the best.
Yeah.
But I was like, I mean, the Soup was so iconic. That's a
know.
cool internship to get.
I got the writing packet when they brought it back with Jade, but I feel like they didn't really know what they wanted this show to be because they said, we want you to make fun of we don't want you to make fun of reality TV. We want you to make jokes about it that are positive.
I know. It's funny because we've talked about it a lot. Like
Yeah.
it didn't work. Like it didn't make sense.
It's meant to be snarky.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why we all loved it so much,
Yeah.
even despite Joel McHale being the person on it. And we had to suffer through that asshole, but we still, liked the show. But I mean, yeah, I felt like it sucked because the network didn't give you guys like a shot because probably you guys were getting like so many different notes and it just like didn't make sense.
And I know that when it was the Soup with Joel McHale, it was like they would push back on certain things because like they like didn't want you to make fun of their own franchise.
Yeah, of course.
It was like the Kardashians. They were very like protective over, and he would always say like Kim Kardashian. I think we brought her as the girl who got famous for having a big ass and a sex tape every time he would say that. And then they were like, can you not bring up her sex tape so much? Or they would have things like they would try to reframe it. And eventually I understand wanting to, like, you don't want to talk shit about the people that are on your network, but like, that's the point of it. Like,
Yeah.
It's not funny to like be a fan of the Housewives.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
but there are so many, let me tell you.
I know.
I just turned it down.
Oh, really?
I just got my text message that was like, were really interested. And I wrote the guy and I was like, are you sure? Because I had a Bravo show and I feel like I'm persona non grata with Bravo. And if that is, first of all, I'm broke and I live in Glendale.
Well, most of those people are broke, I think is like the secret.
I'm like thinking to myself, I said to the guy, I was like, what am I going to do? Be like, welcome to my like 1,500 square foot bungalow in Glendale. And yes, my washer and dryer are in my kitchen. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? Like, and my kitchen was done in 1971. Like, welcome. Like, what the fuck? I was like, y'all need, this is dark times. But yes, it's not, there's so many Bravo fans, but it is fun. I mean, that whole show is them just tearing each other apart anyway.
It'd be cool to have like more queer diversity too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they threaten it
Yeah.
all the time, but it's usually gay men.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, New York is a lot of lesbian. I mean, you've got Jenna and Raquel, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit more in there.
Yeah.
But yeah. But and also the thing about The Soup at that time is the Kardashians was the biggest reality show. It was bigger than the Housewives.
Yeah.
So, but also they wouldn't have made fun of Bravo either because it's all NBCU. Welcome to Hollywood.
Everything's owned by the same thing.
But that's huge. Like, so you came out for The Soup.
Yeah.
And then that's when you just started to like go off and write for different roasts and shows, or like what happened then?
I wanted to be on the writing side of things because I felt like I wanted to like hone in my writing skills. And I also wanted to build my confidence because I feel like at the time it's a lot of like shitty male comics. And they were like, people are going to laugh at you because they want to sleep with you. And then I feel like I internalized that.
Got it.
And I was like, I need to know that I'm a good writer. And I feel like I just went really towards that field. Also, honestly, it was smart because there was more stability.
Way more stability. Yeah.
And it's also just, it's a double-edged sword. It's like satisfying to know that like someone else can read your joke and get a laugh. But there's like this one joke that I was like, that I did for, it was a roast of Whitney Cummings. And we gave it to Bob the drag queen. And he said it. And then all the comments were like, that Bob's a genius. And all this stuff. Like all the comments, I'm like, I wrote that joke. You know?
I know you're like, it's me. I mean, Bob is a genius, but yes, I'm sure. Yeah, that was a great roast too.
It was.
But
really
you're close with Whitney Cummings, right? Because you've worked with her a lot.
She's great. I've worked with. And you know what's so crazy is it was I didn't work with her until that roast.
Oh,
and then we just got really close very quickly.
Yeah, she seems like a badass.
Yeah,
I don't know her at all. I just see her on the internet.
She is so. Like I liked her comedy and stuff before, but I didn't realize how fast she was.
She's fast.
Yeah. Until I was in a writing room with her and she's just like, you mention one topic and then she thinks of like, she just spews off like 6 different ways a joke could go. And you're just like, wow, her brain works.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When did you kind of go into your queer journey when you came to LA, or did it start in Florida?
Definitely didn't start in Florida. I didn't even think it was an option, to be honest, because there was one person who was gay at our sorority and she was kind of bullied for it.
You were in a sorority?
Yeah, I was in 2 sororities.
How do you be in 2?
I got kicked out of one.
I would be terrified to rush for a sorority. Is that what it's called? Rushing?
Yeah. It was like, it's especially in Florida State, it's second biggest in the world. So it's, they take it really seriously. It takes a whole week.
What do you do?
You just interview. It's just constant interviews. Like you're going to.
Aren't you getting like put tubes down your throat of tequila and you're like getting whipped around with water? I don't know. That's what they put in the movies.
Yes. It's so funny is that once I got in Alpha Phi, like I was hearing like whispers of like people are like eventually, like they're gonna strip you down to your underwear and they're gonna like yell at you, and I was like, so
make
excited. Yeah, I was like wearing like,
your gay ass,
my good underwear. I was like, really?
You're like, and then we fuck with cake around. Yeah, exactly. You're like, how many hot dogs I can eat? A lot. Like I don't know how that shit goes. Yeah, I would be totally into it too.
No one ever was. It was like there was no hazing,
but they let really the lesbian in.
Yeah, and then there was because I feel like once Alpha Phi was very kind and like a newer sorority, and they were like they didn't haze at all. They just like would teach you the history of the sorority. And then with Zeta, that was the first one that I was in. I immediately joined and everyone immediately was like very mean to us. We were only allowed to sit at like a certain table for
Nah,
like the new
fuck that.
people. Yeah. And they would like tell us like to show up without makeup. And then that was picture day. And it was like weird, subtle mean
You're
girl.
like, joke's on you, bitch. My mom's hot, and so am I.
Isn't that such
You
a
know?
stupid way to like make someone feel insecure?
Terrible.
It's
Terrible.
And then, or they would tell you to like get really dressed up because like get really dressed up. We're taking your photos, and this is like for like a really big event, and everyone would spend hours getting ready, and they showed up and they dumped water on you.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal.
Yeah, I get that. Well, it was really hard to exist socially on the campus without being on it
Yeah.
because it was like half the campus was in Greek life.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Just like white people, sororities, it all freaks me out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I just don't know if I could have done it.
Well, it's like half the people are in Greek life. The other third are in the diversity. Like there's different.
But I don't want to be in the gay club either.
Oh,
I
they don't
wanna-
have gay. Well, they have like there's like black sororities and black
Oh,
fraternities.
I'm
and
down
things
with
like
being
that.
in a black store. That
Yeah.
would be at least fun. I didn't go to like a big school like that. I went to like art school in Manhattan. I had very much the like that track because I was
Yeah.
just so intimidated by that.
I wish I had done that though. I just didn't even think to do anything like that because now there's like we live in this like house and the people downstairs are like all these like college students in art school and they're all so cool and like there's this girl who does like sculptures with baby heads and like women's bodies and then she's dating this person that goes by all the pronouns and they're in a rock band and we've
Yeah, but
like
how
seen
they
this-
paying rent? Somebody works at Hooters in the Valley. Somebody works somewhere. Let me tell you.
Everyone's so cool though.
Yeah, fair enough. They're like, they're so cool. And then they're like, well, I'm just like biding time to like inherit my dad's like, financial services company.
Their dad works for Lockheed Martin or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you didn't even think, so it was when you got to LA that you were like, oh, I could potentially be queer, or like, how did that, or did you meet someone and that lesbian pulled you in? Like, how did it all happen?
I questioned it for like the longest time. And then I was like scared. I was scared to like be with a woman like that. All of that terrified me because
Sure.
I felt like I was at this time like 25. I felt like I was too old to be like in puberty again and like trying to figure out like it feels like all of it intimidated me so much. So when I was in Thailand, I went to a massage parlor and I was like,
Yeah, I watched that joke.
I just like paid for my first experience with a woman.
That's so G'd up.
I was like, I don't want to put like anyone through this for the first time. I'm just gonna like see if I'm gay.
Honestly, sex workers are the backbone of our fucking society.
I know.
So God bless her.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm in love with you now. Let's like run away to Phuket.
Yeah. And I was like, this might be for me.
And then what happened after that? You just came back here and went to Thai Town?
I went on a date with this girl and went to the steak pit.
Oh my God, the snake pit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You are, because I had a similar experience in the sense that I left San Francisco. I had like had sex with women before, but I'd never like dated a woman before. And then I came down here at 25. I lived right off of Genesee, right by the Fairfax High School. And like my first night ever in Los Angeles was at the snake pit.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, of course, on Melrose. I like walked up, was there, and I felt like Don Draper in Mad Men when he goes like to the West Village and everybody was like cool. And I'm like, oh, okay, like everyone's queer and everyone's cool and no one gives a shit. And I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
So nobody cares, Oh my God, wait, I'm sorry. You have to go back to the snake pit. So you went to the snake pit. What kind of girl was that? Taking you to, who suggested the snake pit?
She was gorgeous. She looked kind of like Megan Fox. Like she had like light blue eyes and like
You
dark
look like
hair.
Megan Fox.
Oh, thank you. But she was gorgeous. She's she's insane though. She was
Always are.
I still see her TikToks where she's like defraud. Like she's one of those people that will go to a hair salon and like get a bunch of work done at the hair salon and then dispute it with their credit card company and then try to like make a viral video about why the hair salon is bad.
Honestly, like every lesbian in West Hollywood is like that.
And it will get like 100,000 views and she'll
Stop
like,
it.
be like trying to like take down a small business.
I'm dead. After this After this, you are showing me that TikTok immediately.
Yeah.
I want to see that now.
And then my girlfriend keeps seeing it. She was like cringing watching this video. I was like, that's the first girl I went on a date with. She's like, are you serious? And she's like, she seems insane. I'm like, yeah, she is. She was like super mean to the bartender.
Oh no.
But I still went on dates because she was so pretty.
I did that too.
Yeah.
I went out with a girl who was really, really hot, except for when she came to pick me up, I was so into her. I would see her in West Hollywood and I was like, oh my God, this girl's so hot. And I knew she was was throwing the cat around,
Yeah.
kind of a hoe. But I was like, and she dated this really, really gorgeous girl who's now a DJ. And she is a DJ and we're friends now. And we've laughed about it. And who's gorgeous, who's like a model DJ, like, which is so annoying.
Yeah.
Like a DJ model, like, get out of here.
Is it like I Am Kittens?
Yes. And it is Lauren Abedini. Hey, Lauren, what's up? I owe you a text. So this girl comes to pick me up, and in her car, it had like a breathalyzer thing.
Oh my God.
And I was like, nah, bitch, this ain't it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nah, like, it's cool. Like, we could have just, cause I was like, we could have just walked or whatever. Like,
that's what happened with that girl. She drank so much that we never hooked up because she would get too drunk
and pass out.
Yeah. And
There was a lot of those too. I remember that. Okay, sorry. I digress. So you go to the snake pit, the girl's a sociopath, and then you just like keep swiping till the cows come home till you meet people?
Yeah, I was like still trying to date people. And then it's weird too, because it's like I feel like I was having like a hard time with queer dating. Like I would like go and make dates with people who were bisexual that didn't want to have a relationship with a woman, but they were open to having sex with women. I was finding a lot of that. And then I was also just not finding people that I connected with. And then I would find myself going back to being with men thinking that like, because it was familiar.
Yeah.
And there's also just all this years of conditioning of like, this is who you're supposed to be with.
Sure.
And so I think I would go back, I would date men and I would be like, this still isn't right. Like the sexual component was never great. And it was also, but it was like, I go to dinner, I know they're going to pay. And like, I have someone to protect me. And there's all these like things that felt very familiar. And then it's like when you're dating women, it's like everything is more up in the air about like who's like, I don't know. Like it's weird that now I'm like the provider, like it's weird how some of those roles can change. And I think I just went back and forth between dating men and women for a while and wasn't sure if I was pansexual. And still to this day, I'm like, even though I have like a cisgender girlfriend, I feel like if I wasn't with her, I'm more open to if I would be with like someone who's non-binary or trans female or like that.
I'm just down to clown.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been with my wife for so long.
Mhm.
10 years we've been together, which is crazy. But for a long time, I really stood on the bisexual hill,
Mhm.
which now I would just say pan or fluid because I don't really care about any of that. I would totally be with someone non-binary or trans. It doesn't matter to me. But for the time, I would always be like, no, I'm bisexual because I still low-key would fuck Tom Hardy, who's also bisexual.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is like what makes him hot. And I didn't want to devalue the like one or two lovely moments I had with all hundreds of those men, but but you know what I mean? I was like, no, but now it's interesting. I guess I'm omnisexual.
It's a new word.
Yeah, just let me tell you. It is when you are open, but you romantically prefer a specific like you romantically prefer one gender.
That makes sense.
But I also am same. Like if I wasn't with my wife, I wouldn't really care. I don't really care about gender. It's not my thing either.
Mhm.
Like I don't give a shit. But yeah, I never had that emotional component with men. Like I never felt completely at ease or myself.
Yeah.
It was very easily, it was very easy to have performative sex. It was very easy to go into that, like open up the car door for me and like be hot and do all that shit. But I couldn't get to that emotional level.
It's weird when I have a conversation with my girlfriend. It feels like I don't feel insecure. Like I'm gonna I don't feel as anxiously attached.
Yes, that's a great way of thinking about it.
It's so weird because I'm like, oh, I feel so secure in this attachment. Like I feel like we were both at the same place, and I've never really had that because I feel like with men too, there's all this weird social conditioning with how they view women. And I'd be like, I'm not afraid to be without makeup in front of my girlfriend, but it was always a thing with men.
Yeah. Wow. Samesies.
Isn't that weird? Because I feel like they're like have these weird expectations of women and they'll say it.
Yeah. Honestly, fuck dudes. I really, because like now I'll think about it and I'm like, I could just never, I don't want to say never. It would be difficult for me to be in a relationship with like a cis het guy.
Yeah, I feel like if I would, they would have to be socialized as a woman. Like at one, like during your childhood development, early upbringing, you have to be like presenting as a woman. I think.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. 100%.
because that makes all the difference.
Do you find that with your comedy, like it's allowed you to talk about so many other things you might not have through the lens of like being lesbian? Because it is in a lot of your set, it's this like, oh, like I think there is that shock moment, right? Where people don't expect you to be a lesbian because they have all these preconceived notions of what a lesbian looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like a lumberjack dyke. Let's just be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're all like, okay, we come in a lot of shapes and different colors and makeup skills. But do you feel like using, the conversation of you being queer has allowed you to talk about other things as well?
I think it's like I talked about it before I was ready to talk about it, and I think it was interesting because it was like I was figuring out my sexuality for myself on stage,
Got it.
and that was kind of helpful. But I'm sure you deal with the same thing all the time, where like you came out and then you have to come out every single day
All the
because
time.
yeah,
Even now, like recently, like
Mhm.
even at work, I'm like all the time. I mean, work stuff is like wild. I think
Yeah.
people generally know now because
Mhm.
I've been doing it for so long. But also, there's things where I'm like, wow, I'm like a very queer out person in like our industry on the exec side, which I'm one of like a handful.
Mhm.
And that is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's lots of gay men,
Mhm.
but there's not many queer women in the space
Yeah.
at all. And we've all fucked each other anyway, so we don't talk. We're not friends. Just kidding. I'm not. But yeah, it is. You have to like continuously come out. It's just from my peripheral relationship with so many stand-up comedians. I mean, now most of my friends are female stand-up comedians, and at that mostly queer women, and then at that most queer women of color. So I know that subset group, but it's like when I go and see them and see male comics, it still feels so archaic in
Yeah.
many ways.
And it's getting worse because there's this weird culture like fighting against progress. So then it's like certain slurs are coming back, and it's crazy to watch. You're like, oh, this has gotten like I feel like we were kind of championing smarter comedians like the John Mulaney types, and there's still spaces that do. It's like very like Largo style, but then there's people who are doing stadiums are just like just making fun of people with Down syndrome, which is crazy.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's really gnarly. And it's funny you say that because I feel the same. Like even this woman, when I was going through IVF, I was
Mhm.
like picking up needles. God bless her. This lovely Armenian woman in Glendale was like, oh, you should watch this stand up. It's on Netflix. It's so good. I can't even remember the guy's name because I got through 5 minutes of it. And I'm like, this is wildly anti-women, wildly homophobic. Like, I can't believe this bitch who knows I'm going through IVF is telling me to watch this. Like, it was mental. It was like, what? And I agree. I mean, it does feel like a regression,
Yeah.
and it feels like little boys stamping their feet,
Mhm.
wanting to use slurs.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool. You know?
Yeah, it's so crazy because there was like when you go to Austin, a lot of comics will say that like as long as you say something that's like anti people of color, anti trans, anti gay, anything like that, anti women, it will get a laugh because it's just like it's very easy. It doesn't have to be the smartest joke, but they feel like this is what's doing well. And even as like there's a lot of like they invite a lot of like cisgender straight black guys to do stand up, and then if they do jokes that kind of like are self-deprecating, those jokes will do the best. And then some people will find themselves in a position where you're kind of selling out your own people. And I just never wanted to be in that space because like whenever I was given opportunities for places that I feel like they didn't fully embrace me, I'm like, I don't want those followers because at the heart of it, they hate women, they hate gay people. and they just like me as an exception.
Right.
I don't want to be the Tim Dillon of lesbians. You know what I mean? That has this
No.
fan base that largely hates everything that you are.
That's so weird. What do you do when you have to follow someone who has a set like that?
I don't really ever address it. I don't have to deal like people don't really like make fun of lesbians too much. A lot of female comics will be like, I look like a lesbian. And they're like, get it? Because lesbians are ugly. It's like the whole joke.
You're like, okay, bitch, want me to teach you how to fucking do contour? I'm happy. Like, come backstage. Yeah.
I had to mention it one time because all the female comics on lineup had jokes about how they look like lesbians. And I was just like, okay. And then it was finally me. And I was like, this is crazy. But the person I feel has to do it the most is my friend Abe. He's Abe Fairley is a really great comic. And when we were in Atlanta, like we kept doing shows where the comic before would have trans jokes because like every comic has to have a trans joke now.
Do they?
Well, they feel like they do.
No, thanks.
They're like, everyone needs to have a take on this. I'm like, why?
But why? Like, I actually don't need you to talk about trans people this much, unless it's positive, unless you're talking about the disproportionate amount of Black trans women who are being murdered. Other than that, like, shut the fuck up.
It's such a small portion of the population, too, and most of them don't even know a trans person. It's like, you don't have to weigh. I feel like everyone thinks they have to weigh on everything now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just feel like if you don't have a person, you should write about what you have a personal experience with. And if your personal experience, usually what they're writing about is just that they're grossed out by it.
Got it.
Or like it's coming from a place of hate. And I just don't know why I don't know. I don't know why everyone feels like they need to do it. But it was like, there was one joke about this guy, I forget what his name was, but he went on before Abe and his joke was about the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney and was saying that it makes sense that she was the spokesperson for Bud Light because a trans person should be the spokesperson because that's how many beers you have to drink before you have sex with one or whatever.
No, thank you.
Like not even
sir.
a good joke. And then Abe just after all these jokes that were like killing with the crowd, he has to be like, oh, hi. Like it feels kind of undercover bossy too. It's like you guys have been laughing about trans people, and you have to come out at the end.
Does. It's like, well, God, there's cameras everywhere, and all of this is going to your HR and your fucking school board, like the PTA, bitch. Can you imagine?
That's what it feels like, and then everyone feels like they're in trouble, and it's like a weird position to have to be in. But that's what it feels like, and like I feel like he's constantly put in this position where he's to address it, and he can't just do a set like a normal comic.
Oh my God,
he has to have this whole portion that he's like thought about how he addresses it when someone does a bunch of trans material and
putting
it kills.
the emotional labor right back on the people that are oppressed. Thanks so much. But yeah, it does feel like this strange swing of like lazy comedy.
Yeah.
In particular, mostly with cis straight men. The other thing that I don't know is more offensive than just outwardly hateful comedy is the uptick in crowd work.
Yeah.
No thanks. I could do without it.
It's so weird to go to a show and then put all the expectation of a good show on the audience.
It's completely insane to me.
Like you guys have to bring the jokes and the material because I have nothing. That's crazy.
Or just like relentlessly roasting these people in this. It makes me so uncomfortable and I find it so cringe. I hate it.
Because I never want to be talked to when I'm in an audience.
No.
It's horrible.
Unfortunately, I'm a fabulous attendee at a comedy show because I love to laugh.
Yeah, same.
Well, I'm good and bad because if you're not funny, I won't laugh. But if you are funny, I will just can't stop laughing. And I was put in the front row of a dear friend's comedy show not long ago, Cameron Esposito, and Cam is in the front. She's like, what are you doing in the front? And I'm like, don't talk to me anymore. Like, don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like two people who we've known each other for a very long time and that's fine. But when I go to these shows, I went to this queer lesbian show and I just was horrified by the crowd work. I'm like, T.O., make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. But I wonder if people, it's almost like Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Like they want it. Like they want to get wet.
Well, that's kind of what,
you know?
I guess Matt Rife, like with his shows, it's kind of a nightmare because people show up to his shows wanting to be on his TikTok.
Oh.
So it's like a crowd issue because he has these huge crowds now, and then everyone's trying to be noticed, and everyone's trying to like, because they want to be on his TikTok. So they're like the worst audience ever. They will heckle, they'll do anything because they feel like that's the expectation of them.
Another expectation on you guys is like social media, which
I know.
I'm getting a little fatigued on. Joseph, our lovely producer,
Yeah.
was clowning me that I don't post on the internet anymore. I'm getting fatigued.
It's
I'm
too
getting
much.
tired. Really, I like you and Martha. Martha, I mean, I hope you're paying her out. She's working on there.
She was a spokesperson for Jinx for a little bit.
Stop it.
She got like some Jinx sponsorships.
I love that for her.
And she got like, and now it's all she eats. But she got taken to this like brand party. It was like hosted by this Victoria's Secret model.
Stop it.
It was like this Jinx Halloween party, and they had a pet psychic. And I took Martha to the pet psychic, and I was like, "Hey,
It wasn't Justine, right? A woman with like a bump it and a thing.
no, I forget her name. She had short hair.
Okay.
Very pretty though.
Was she a good pet psychic?
Oh no, the pet psychic. I think with the model. No, it was a man.
Oh.
Which I don't think.
Not Caesar Milan, but I don't
No.
think he's a psychic. Isn't he just like a whisperer?
Yeah,
Got it.
I
I've
don't-
seen him weirdly in the Puerto Vallarta airport. Not once, not twice, 3 times.
really.
Just side note. Yeah.
I just feel like men can't. I don't think anyone can be psychic, but I really don't think men can be psychic.
100% resounding NO.
No,
Men cannot be psychics. That's why. So that's already sus. So
It's
I'm
like-
not calling that pet psychic. I want to call a pet psychic real bad though.
it's because I was like, I wanted to give it a try just to see what they said, and I was like saying how I don't know because like Martha's been rescued, so I don't know her like backstory, and I was like, I just want to know what Martha's life was like before I adopted her, and he's like, oh, she was in a shanty town, and I'm picturing 4 figures. She's passed between 4 homeless people. I was like, what? And they all would they all would split ownership of her, and she used to do healing work. She was a healer. But now she doesn't do healing work anymore because I've rescued her. She feels like she's taken a break from her healing work.
Yeah, she tired.
And
4 homeless people, that's a lot.
she was healing 4 homeless people,
That is crazy.
aligning their chakras and living in Skid Row apparently. And
Yikes.
and then I talked to this other person that went after me. I said, "Oh, what did the pet psychic say to you?" And they said, "Oh, they said that she wants to taste Gatorade." Like that, I would believe if they said Martha said she wants to have Gatorade. Like that's more realistic.
Interesting. No, I'm going to hook you up with Justine.
Okay.
Justine came on this show, God, now like a year ago, and everything she said happened,
Oh wow,
which
I've
is nuts.
been to a psychic like that before, and it sucks because she's like a big Trump supporter. But
No.
I know, like how
What
do you
does
be
that
both?
even mean? How is that possible? Madison, no. I don't know about that one then.
She was like incredible. She was in Orlando, and my mom was going to her. Like she was going to this medium after her because my mom's grandmother raised her. So it was like when she passed, it was kind of like her mom passed.
Mhm.
And then when she was going to a medium, I was kind of worried because I feel like it's such a predatory industry, and there's
Yeah.
so many people who would just try to take your money off of grief. So I wanted to like see what she was going to and giving her money to, and it was kind of crazy. Like all the things they said, like she knew this, like the first kind of guy I was talking to in high school and what kind of car he drove, and had very specific memories of my mom, like when she like broke her grandmother's pearl necklace and was putting them in her ears to look like earrings, and they rolled down her ear canal, and she had to go to the hospital and get them like sucked out of her ear. And
That's
she
like one of my unlocked worst fears.
to have anything of you.
And yeah,
Like a spider or
like
something.
yeah, or no, like pearls in my ears. Yeah, that specifically is the nightmare unlocked.
And it's like she knew that. Like that's such a specific thing. And for her to know that.
Quite specific.
Yeah.
And she's a Trump supporter.
Yeah. Fuck. I know. And it's like, it's just weird to be like,
How does that make sense? Make it make sense.
it's like how you connected to the spirit realm. It also makes you feel like I'm wrong. Like I,
mean,
don't
maybe
like it.
she's a Trump supporter because she's also Bitcoin mining us all, and
know.
they're all just looking at. He probably has a bunch of people like that on tap, going through all of our Hotmail passwords that are connected to our fucking PayPals and our,
Yeah.
Robinhood accounts, and that's the end of times.
Yeah. And she's just like, okay. And she also just can like know all of our data. She's just like,
Fuck. Do you what do you like wish you saw more in comedy?
I wish I saw, obviously, like I don't, if there is crowd work, I wish we had more weird crowd work. Like my friend Zayed, his crowd work is he asks people if they were to kill themselves, how would they do it? And at least it's interesting. I think like I'd rather
Hmm.
like a
That's a good question. I've thought about it because
like
I asked the question recently.
mhm.
Would you rather live in Handmaid's Tale or The Last of Us?
Mm, I haven't seen Handmaid's Tale, but The
Well,
Last of Us
that's
is
not the answer.
Pedro Pascal, I guess, because
Literally
he's
any answer, The Handmaid's Tale can't be the answer.
okay.
And if you haven't watched it,
Mhm.
just keep your sweet little baby soul alive. It's
Anything about forced birth is I'm so terrified of giving birth.
girl, same. Deeply, deeply terrified. Yeah, like really scared. Like I've had multiple episodes of the show just about childbirth and how scary it seems.
Every element of it. And then whenever I talk to people who are like close to like when they're like 9 months pregnant and stuff, or they're white, like what Tosh was talking about, like going to his wife's appointment when she was 9 months pregnant. The doctor was like, "Oh, you can put your hand in her and feel the head." I'm like, all of that makes me just cross my legs. The idea that there's a human so that you can just like touch their head from your
Crazy. Yeah,
insane.
you should just skip The Handmaid's Tale. Anyway, okay, so you'd like to see weirder crowd work.
Yeah.
You can be the change you want to see in the world.
I know. I could, and I did do one thing where I would ask people when the last time they were ghosted is, and then I would call the person they were ghosted and ask
Okay,
for their
that's
side of it.
literally sex talk. My dream is to do something like that. I would love. Did people pick up?
Yeah. The first one was crazy, and then I've never been able to reach the high of that one.
It's always the first.
I know, and I was like, "This is perfect," and to the point everyone thought it was staged. And I called this girl, and she was basically just saying what a horrible first date it is, and that his cat just went missing. So their first date, they went to FedEx to do like posters for his missing cat.
Sounds like a good date to me, but who am
I
I?
know.
I've been out of the game for 10 years, so what do I know?
And like he lived with his grandmother and everything, and she's saying all this stuff, and she just seemed very, she just kept saying how boring he was, but she seemed very boring.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right, so maybe just not a match.
yeah.
That's fun crowd work.
I thought that was it's enjoyable. I don't know. It's like, and you never know where it's gonna go. I like being scared, but then some people would be like, I got ghosted by this guy, and then I'll call him, and then after like he doesn't pick up, I'll usually leave a voicemail and tell them something like their mom's in the hospital or something. So they call back. I'll say something like urgent to call back. And then they'll tell me, "Oh, he's abusive, by the way." I'm like, great, now he has my number.
You're like, stop filming.
I'm like, yeah, I don't want to mess with this guy. They're
Wow.
like, he's in the Marines. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, no, girl, stop, make it stop. Okay, so more weird crowd work. Yeah, same.
I think that would be fun. Also, I did a like when I talked about being sexually assaulted in college, I would like talk about it, and then I'd immediately pull out a side whistle. And I like even though people people make like say like prop comedy is like the lowest form of comedy, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I liked that bit.
Thank you.
I was here for that. I was like, oh God. And it was great. It was great. And the follow-up joke, which I will not, you should go watch, was great too. That was good. I liked that.
It was such a fight with to get that aired.
I bet.
I the way that I did it on purpose, where when we went to go do our Comedy Central tapings, I'm like, I know exactly the 6 minutes I want to do. And they said you can go way longer. And I was like, I know that going longer is like giving up editing control and giving
Sure.
up what the final product was going to be. I'm like, I know how I want the 6 minutes. I just have to not mess up, and I have to keep it at that. And thankfully, when I did that and Standards and Practice saw it, they're like, we can't air this. And then Comedy Central really fought for me because, and I think because they wanted me to tell my side of the story, but also I only have 6 minutes. So it kind of like, they had to be on my side a little bit, and or more so than they would normally be. And they were really nice about it. They fought for me, and they made sure that they were like, well, this is her story. This is something that happened to her. She should have the right to say it. And Standards and Practices is really fighting it. But they said that they would allow it if you do a hotline at the end.
Oh.
And there's a hotline. I don't know if it's for sexual assault or for suicide. I
Yeah,
know
because
that
you
was
covered the gamut there.
I know. They weren't sure which one to do. So I'm not sure which one they landed on.
Or they were just like, just call 911. No one will pick up and no one will come to help you. But please call 911. That'll be your best bet.
I just thought it was funny that they're like, this is the first time a comic said to have a hotline at the end.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, good for a first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You and your girlfriend are the cutest thing I've ever seen on the internet. Your music festival extracurricular activities give me heart palpitations. I love that you have found your European oons partner of your dreams. That is what I'm gleaning from it. Yeah. What music festival have you guys not been to together that you're desperate to go to?
Coachella.
Didn't you just go?
We didn't go. We went to all the events.
Oh, I thought you were going to go. I thought you went.
Well, we thought like once we're there, maybe we'll try to get it. But also she was just hit by a car. So
oh my God.
She's like, it seems like it would be not just, I guess it was like last October.
Oh my God.
So we were like, oh, maybe it's like a little bit too much physically to do.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's just go to the desert. And then I was getting invited to all these brand things. And we act like we've never been to anything before. Like they can tell that like we don't belong there because we got these boots. They were like,
these are perfect for Coachella.
Thank you. That's why they were given out. We looked at like afterwards. We found out they're like $550 boots.
I love this for you.
And we were like, take them out. Like we're wearing these out.
I love it.
Like, no one can take these from us because like we saw Emma Roberts there. We're like, she's gonna take our boots.
I'm done. Honestly, she's a bitch. She probably would take your boots.
I was like, it was the last size 8. Like we were literally grabbing everything.
Yes, queen. I'm here for that for you.
So we just went there and just took free stuff. And then
as you should.
Yeah.
As you should. As a lesbian Chihuahua mom, just hitting the pavement, having to duck and dodge bad crowd work and bad jokes. Take the fucking boots.
Take everything that we did, everything that we could. And then we thought we got to go to the Hacks party, which was really fun. We got to see Trixie Mattel.
So
DJ.
Fun.
I don't know how she was DJing in full drag.
Yeah. Trixie goes off.
105 degrees. Like we were dying and we were like in bathing suits with just covers over it.
So like everything you're describing to me is my fundamental worst nightmare. Like all of it. That's I can't. The heat. See what I'm saying? It's a call back to Joshua. Like I'm over it. Though I do love Trixie so much and is the best of all time and very funny. And the Hacks party would be like the one and only party. That's not true. I wanted to go to the Absolute House because Paris Hilton and Too Short were there.
Oh, well, they had the Too Short was at the Maxim party. And I wanted to go, but my girlfriend's like, I don't have the energy to go to that. And I'm like, I want to hear Blow the Whistle.
Honestly, Todd and I have been friends since I was 16. We'll go downtown to his studio and I'll have him, he'll play Blow the Whistle.
Okay.
He loves lesbians. Trust me. I know. We'll do a private lesbian. We'll get him in Pride Month. We'll make him feel real guilty and we'll just go do it downtown.
Okay.
It's like right next to Sam's Hofbrau. We can even go to the strip club afterward. It'll be perfect. Well, I am so grateful that you came to chat. I just think you're wonderful. And I hit you up during the fires, which was the worst time to hit anybody up. But I'm glad we made this happen.
Yeah. It's perfect.
So thank you.
Beautiful Anonymous changes each week. It defies genres and expectations. For example, our most recent episode, I talked to a woman who survived a murder attempt by her own son. But just the week before that, we just talked the whole time about Star Trek. We've had other recent episodes about sexting in languages that are not your first language, or what it's like to get weight loss surgery. It's unpredictable, it's real, it's honest, it's raw. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.